Hello, everyone. It's been a while. We're back. We're going to catch you up, and we're going to do the same thing that Benfica is doing, catching up. So here, another night, another podcast.
Hasta que no estás aquí dentro no sabes la grandeza de este equipo.
Quero o Benfica intimidar o adversário. Quero o manto sagrado entrar com vocês em qualquer estádio e assustá-los, pá! É isso que eu quero!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Law Benfica podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumacic, with you as always. Sometimes. We've been away for a while, and I guess I got a little bit of explaining to do, right? So I actually, Thanksgiving week of here in the U.S., I traveled over to Portugal, and I was there for 10 days, I think. So throughout that time, during that time, we didn't do a podcast. So a couple podcasts we missed, right, Dave? I told the boys, let's do a podcast during the week from Portugal, but when all that happens. With me as always, Cristiano Oliveira. What's up, Cristiano?
What's up, Alfredinho? I was enjoying sitting back and just having you explain your step-by-step rendezvous around Portugal. You didn't mention Stay the Lose and Benfica TV. I think you're trying to be modest. You're not trying to embarrass Dave and I, but it's okay. Dave and I know that we share the platform with Estrela, and it's okay. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be you. So
yeah.
Along with you left out the meals, eating the bread. You could just me and Dave will sit back. Go ahead, brother. Take over. We're good.
No, I guess I'll say hello to Dave, and then I can tell a little bit of the story. What's up, Dave? How you doing?
What's going on? Good to be back with the both of you. Good to see the Freddies back in the chat, and I want to hear some of these stories here.
Yeah.
Alfred.
Yes.
So,
Freddy, smash the like button, Freddy's. Hola, hello. Shaniki wa, all that good, bonjour, all that good stuff.
Shaniki wa.
But smash the like button. That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Alfred.
No, so I Thanksgiving weekend, I had some days I had to take off from work because if I didn't take them off, then I would lose them. So I took advantage of it, and I also had a voucher from United that I needed to take advantage of before the year was out. So, what better time to take a trip? I took advantage of the 2 days for Thanksgiving week, Thursday and Friday, which was Black Friday, and I decided to go over to Portugal, visit the folks. While I was there, I was somebody got in touch with me from Benfica TV to see if I wanted to offer my opinion on the draw for the Club World Cup. That's going to take place here in the United States next year between June and July. And since, they know me and the rest of the crew from Benfica podcast, they figured that they'd tap in and see what our opinion was of the draw, and also how soccer is progressing here in the United States. And I told them, so as it turns out, I'm in Portugal. And they're like, oh, if you're in Portugal, why don't you come by to the studio? So I did do that. Was Thursday? Last Thursday when they had that. So I was kind of surprised. Went there, went to the stadium, went in the studio, was in studio. Was very honored to be able to participate in that, and it was good. It was good. It's always good when our podcast gets recognition from Portugal, especially, and from the club. So it was good, regardless of how much shit Cristiano talks about the club. We still get.
Never. Hey, no,
all right.
I mean, if you want to go down that road, look, I'm glad you enjoyed your 1 hour of stardom over there, but I gotta tell you guys, it was an hour of my life I will never get back. And the reason why I say that is because I was anxiously looking forward to this shebang that FIFA put on FIFA.com, on
Awful.
YouTube, and DAZN, and wherever else, and BTV, wherever else you might have been watching. And I'm anticipating finding out, because again, the only thing I ever cared about was where they were playing.
Yeah.
I didn't care if they were drawn up against the Boys and Girls Club, and also Senora Fatima, the House of the Needy, Salvation Army. Like, I was just praying and hoping they were playing in New York, Philly, DC,
Yeah.
so I could go watch them.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about. In the meantime, I wasted a whole hour
Yeah.
sitting there, anxiously anticipating to find out where we were going to play. And all I got to know was just the group, which I totally lost interest. But nonetheless, we have found out since then where it is that Benfica is going to be playing their games, and I'll leave that up to Dave because Dave is the stats guy. But yeah, just as much fun as you had, Alfredo, was an hour I'll never get back in my life.
Yeah, no, look, we were watching the ceremony live in studio, and we'd be commenting on what was going on, and despite and look, I don't have any political affiliations, or no, I care to express them here, right? But despite FIFA always trying to stay away from politics and from this and that, you know, when they announced that we have a special message from a special guest, I thought that maybe the original Ronaldo was gonna come up, or some kind of a football legend, maybe Beckenbauer or somebody was going to pop up, and who does pop up? Trump. And then
Espera aí. Beckenbauer's dead, bro. I mean, come on.
Oh, Beckenbauer's dead? I'm sorry.
I mean, do you blame him?
Well, that would have been
even
more special.
As much,
was
as much as you
Beckenbauer.
don't want to get involved in politics, as much as you don't want to get involved in politics, I mean, if I was done between a dead person and Trump, I'd pick Trump. I mean, the guy's alive. The guy's dead. He can't show up. I mean,
you're right about that. You know what I mean. Some legend from world football, I don't want to mention anyone else in case they might be dead, but you know what I mean.
And I'm joking. I'm joking.
Beckenbauer is dead for real? No,
Sorry
Beckenbauer's not dead. Look that up, Dave. Beckenbauer is not dead.
I want to say he recently died, but
no, man, Beckenbauer is not dead. But yeah, so we're waiting for that special message and come
he
strong.
died this year, January
Fucking
7th,
shit,
2024.
man.
This year he's passed away. Rest in peace.
God damn it! I'm fucked that one up.
I'm glad that I'm the one that pays attention. I mean, unfortunately, it's just like you're not paying attention. BTV and you have something in common, because they should have gotten the host that paid attention. No, they're like you. They don't pay attention, so they got. But I'm joking. Go ahead.
Rummenigge. Let's just say that. Lothar Matthäus.
He's still alive. He's still
Lothar
alive.
Matthäus.
He's still alive.
But yeah, so
But why are you picking only Germans?
I don't know. So I can think of Bayern Munich. No, but the other thing that I was thinking of, and then they had Ivanka, obviously, in her son, so Trump's grandson. And look, like I said, I really don't care. My point is that FIFA doesn't like getting involved in politics, and anytime that there's political unrest in a country, FIFA tries to stay away from that. They've even warned federations when there's political unrest. So it was a little bit odd for me to see it like that. Not that I have anything, like I said, political affiliation or like or dislike or whatever. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. I thought the whole ceremony in itself was a little bit, I don't know, too showy off, if you will. I liked seeing Andres
Too Mickey
Cantor.
Mousey almost.
Too Mickey
right?
Mousey. I like seeing Andres
I
Cantor.
find it funny. I find it funny they want to keep it, stay away from politics, and yet they run a campaign for Messi every single chance they can. I find that shit
I don't know what's more controversial, you bringing up Trump or you bringing up Messi, but you guys both have some points.
He's even engraved on the trophy. You see, with a half Chilena there. They love the guy. They put him in. And by the way, they put him in the easiest group. They made it sound like Porto and Palmeiras got the easy group. No. They put them in the easy group, so at least they got a chance of advancing.
Yeah.
At least that conversa por otro día. We're not here to talk about that. Go ahead.
But and then the draw happened, obviously, and you guys all know Benfica got drawn with Bayern, Boca, and Auckland from New Zealand. And yeah, Cristiano and I remember Friday morning getting a call as I'm walking down to lunch in Alcochete in Portugal, and I get a call, and I know it's early in the U.S. and it's Cristiano. It's like 7 o'clock in the U.S. Cristiano, I'm fucking pissed, man. and yeah, like I was upset too because the thing is that we were all hoping that between New York or New Jersey, Philadelphia, and DC, we would at least get one game in one of those three cities. And just to give you guys context that you're not really familiarized with the U.S. and distances, from New York to DC, it's about a 4-hour ride. And
New York, not 3.5, bro. Whatever,
okay,
4 hours.
3.5.
4 hours.
And you got
4 hours.
Philadelphia, that's like an hour and 10 minutes. So Philadelphia is kind of like in the middle of the two. So we kind of figured, hey, if we could at least get one of those cities, would be good. But instead, they send us off to Miami, Orlando, and then Charlotte. That's when we play Bayern in the closing match of the group stage. But we got Boca in Miami. We got
Boca's going to be a home game for Boca.
It is, and that's the whole thing. Many Argentines.
But I don't even criticize that Boca game or the Bayern game. Because Bayern's going to draw because it's Bayern. Boca, it's going to draw because it's all the Hispanics in the United States of America are going to try to, go and watch that team because they're right there as the most popular team in South America. But the game I totally don't understand is Auckland and Benfica in Orlando? Let's put that shit in New Jersey or obviously they don't have games in Massachusetts, but with the huge contingency of Portuguese people in Orlando, that shit makes no sense. That one makes
and that's at
no
like
sense.
12 o'clock local time, right? 12 or 1 o'clock local.
Yeah, but is it a weekend or is it a weekday?
It's a Friday.
That's the other. Okay, Friday. Yeah, I mean,
I haven't even looked at the schedule, to be honest with you, in the days.
That shit's gonna have mushkas in the stadium. If you got 10,000 people, it's too much, too many. I'm telling you right now.
Auckland.
Not Oakland, ladies and gentlemen. Not Oakland, California. Auckland.
Yeah, but we'll have a chance to talk about that. I mean, there's plenty of that. I mean, they have announced the groups, the stages, the dates for the stages, the cities in which the games have been played, but there's still quite a few things that are need to straighten out. Like,
and Alfredo, let me just
go ahead.
shore it up because I don't know if you know about this. I'm sorry, and I said Dave was going to do this, but I guess we'll start doing it, which is the winner of that Group C, which Benfica is in, Benfica, Bayern Munich, as we said, Auckland City, and Boca Juniors. The winner goes to Atlanta. The second place team plays that, like if they advance in the next round, second place team will be back in Miami. So it's not like Benfica's even coming here. They're not. I mean, first or second, they're not coming anywhere near New Jersey.
Yeah. No, and look, like I said, we'll talk about it because obviously there's a lot of contracts that are expiring on the 30th of June, and the competition runs from June through July. So FIFA has to figure that out. I think there's been talked about that FIFA is encouraging
July 13th.
some extensions for clubs that are or players that are going to be out of contract. The other thing is that also, and Dave could tell us, I believe that the Portuguese Cup final is at the end of May or next to last week of May. So we got that. Then you got what, 2-3 weeks, and you're in June. You're basically in the competition. So when are these players going to get a preseason, if they're going to get vacation? And FIFA has mandated that all clubs present themselves at their strongest also. Dave, what day is the Taça de Portugal game? Do you know?
Just bringing it up.
It's if you look up the last game of the season, it's usually the week after that.
Last game is on the 17th, so it'll be a week from that, so the 24th of May.
24th of May. And then you got what, a week, and we're in June, and then you got what, another couple
it starts.
weeks?
I believe it's June 15th. Alfred, it's like June 15th to July 13th.
From the Portuguese Cup,
you got 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
You got 3 weeks. So what?
So they'll give.
I believe you think you're going to give them time off?
Yes, I believe they'll get a week off after. Let's say if Benfica does go to that game. This is me just totally speculating. I have no inside information, no idea. Just me speculating. They'll probably get a week off and then report back to start the preparation for this tournament. That's what I'm anticipating.
Yeah. And look, I think that the tournament, albeit FIFA wants it to be prestigious and wants the teams to present themselves at full strength, and some teams, they will, right, because South American teams and MLS teams, and albeit there's only two of them, I don't know about the Asian Conference teams. They're going to be mid-season. Brazil is going to be mid-season. Argentina is going to be mid-season, and you got the European teams that are probably taking this competition as a preseason warm-up. The matches.
I'm not sure about that, Alfredo. I'm not sure about that.
About what?
There's a lot of rumors. There's nothing confirmed yet. A lot of rumors. The different major newspaper and media outlets reporting different things. One is that FIFA is going to award the Club World Cup champion 100 million. And the other rumor is by reliable outlets saying that each team for participating is going to get 50 million.
50 million, yeah.
So that's a lot of money. And as you said, I believe you said, if I was paying attention correctly, FIFA's actually sent out a memo and said that these teams, they want the teams to take this competition serious. Now you have the Ogre saying, how exactly can FIFA mandate who plays?
They can't.
It's very simple. When you're giving somebody
roster.
50 million, you hope that they take this competition serious. That's simple. Obviously, they can't force nobody to play. They can't mandate you got to play such and such and such. But all parties being healthy, $50 million. I think the teams will do their very best to put their to put out a good lineup and to make a good image of themselves in such a competition.
Yeah. So that's that. We'll get a chance to talk about it more, but before we start and get our festivities on the way, I want to say hello to the Freddies that have joined us in the chat: Jason Gaidola, Diogo Reis, Bruno Gil Rodrigues, Zach, Manuel da Cunha, Fabs 8000, Boris Negra Rosa, Diogo Reis, Gary B, and I believe Cristiano, you just answered Gary B's question. It's 50 million for every team that participates, from what we understand.
While we're answering questions, we'll just answer Boris real quick because I know we're going to get into games and stuff like that. We might not have a chance to come back. And he's asking, how is there no Dutch teams in this Donald Duck Cup? Well, it's basically, it goes on your coefficiencies in each how do you call it?
In each conference.
Confederation.
Confederation. That's the word. Thank you, Dave. It's so Benfica and Porto are 8th and 9th, I believe. And then it's basically what you've done in European competitions the last 4 years. So Benfica, having made it to quarterfinals, Porto, I believe, has made it to quarterfinals. I don't believe Dutch teams. I know Ajax made that one semifinal run, but that was 4 or 5 years ago already. So it's based on what you've done the last 4 seasons.
Right.
So that's how, and that, or you've won, like Chelsea's won the Champions League, or it's based on what you've done, the cumulative performances over the last 4 seasons. And I guess no Dutch team is unwell enough to get ahead of Benfica, Porto, which were the last ones to get in there from the European Confederation.
The only team that's in that group that didn't earn qualification or a berth in this competition through the normal channels, as Cristiano was saying, whether you're a winner of the conference or your performance over the last 4 years, is Inter Miami, and we all know why. But yeah, that's what it is. We'll have more time to talk about that. I'm sure every Benfiquista here in the United States is trying to make plans to get over down South Florida and see and watch the team play. So. We'll see, but we'll have more. I don't know. In terms of the tickets, I know that there's some aftermarket places that are already posting tickets for 1,000 and up, but I think that you have to go through the normal channels. Usually here in the United States, it's Ticketmaster, I think is the official seller of tickets, but I'm wondering if the
they
club
haven't even released them yet.
No.
There's still a wait list.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the club, if Benfica is going to make tickets available, because that would be great. Because if you're a socio on this side of the Atlantic and Benfica has an allotted number of tickets, then I'd be more than happy to apply for those or get in line.
Alfredo, there will be plenty of Benfica tickets. I just
in
told
Orlando.
you they'll be lucky if they have. No, that one they'll be lucky if they have 10,000. I think the Miami one, In Miami at Hard Rock Stadium, they're not going to get a sellout.
No,
That's like I think 65,000,
the,
and it's about 70,000 if I'm not mistaken in Carolina.
yeah.
So I doubt. I mean, listen, you'll be able to get tickets, ladies and
The,
gentlemen. Don't
the
worry about it.
the problem is I don't think it's getting tickets. The problem is the prices.
It's the price.
That's the problem. It's gonna cost you, it's gonna cost you a left nut just to get a price to watch Benfica. But anyway, let's get on to the regular podcast, and we have a lot to catch you up. Last time that Benfica that we were on, Benfica had just beaten I forgot who, but after that we were in action against Estrela da Amadora for the Portuguese Cup, 7-0. Di Maria with 3 goals, Artur Koglu Amdouni and Artur Cabral also on the tally sheet. So it was 3-0 at halftime, 7-0, and we move on to the next round. Then we traveled over to Monaco to play Monaco for the Champions League, and kind of a roller coaster of a game where I think Benfica got the good end of the stick, if you will. Usually we go on these roller coaster games and they go back and forth, and then Benfica always ends up at the losing end. But this time it worked out for us, even when they went down to 10 men, and after going down to 10 men, they go up 2-1, and I'm like, man, how bad could this get? But as it turns out, Amdouni and Cabral coming off the bench, helping out Benfica, and we got the good win there in Monaco, which I thought I hadn't seen Monaco play this year, and I thought they were a pretty decent team. Then we traveled up north to play Roca, 2-0. Another game that was a tricky game. We got on the board with an own goal and then a penalty kick at the second half. Booked the 3 points, and it was important because Sporting had just slipped up against Santa Clara. So it was important that we grab those points. And then we have Guimarães. We have Guimarães at the Luz. And that was a game that I was at. And I'll give you a lineup. Trubin was in goal, Ba, Araújo, Otamendi, and Carreras, Augusto and Barreiro, Di Maria, Pavlidis, and Artur Koglu up front. And let me just say something. If you guys, and I think I might have said this here before. If you guys haven't been to Estádio da Luz with the new light setup and LEDs and all that stuff, it's actually a nice little show before game time. Nothing bad to say about that, but what I do have to say is during the game, man, the crowd very, 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 very quiet. Very, very quiet. And I know that it wasn't the best game for Benfica. We'll get into that in a little bit, but man, it's just there's no support coming from the stands. I mean, you have the clocks at each end of the stadium that you do hear them singing, but other than that, you rarely hear the crowd pulling for the team. And I think when in games like this, where you kind of feel that the crowd needs a little push from, or the team needs a little push from the crowd, it's like it's not there. It's not there. It's 58,000 or 53,000, whatever it was, of people that, and you're just quiet, just watching a game. It's there's no emotion, there's no passion, there's no pulling for the team. I don't know, man. It just felt a little weird for me. And obviously, the guys that go from different countries to watch the team and spend money to watch the team, and don't have the ability to watch the team every other week, and that look forward to going to Estádio da Luz once or twice a year, and then you sit there and you just witness people just not excited, not pulling for the team, and to me that was like the oddest thing to feel, because I've been there and I've witnessed the good atmospheres, but it's just not there. And I don't know if it was because of the team was playing, but I mean, Cristiano, I don't know if you have
It's
friends that have
sad.
gone.
They can't get DJ Kamala to play throughout the whole game. So even then, they'll be excited. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just odd, man. There was a lot of guys, yelling at the team from the stands, but nothing like concerted in terms of singing for the team, and even like the more well-known songs.
I've told you many times off air, and you know that, and you have no problem calling me out if I'm lying. Go ahead, say I'm lying. But I've told you many times that that whole Inferno de Luz, that's just treta, bro. Inferno de Luz, it hasn't been Inferno de Luz in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. Honest to God, I don't know how to put my finger on it because I am actually a hypocrite, right? When I go, which I don't do it often, but I do notice it as you just did right this time around. But I do notice on TV and everything that the crowd is dead. If it's not the clock's pushing on either end, that the atmosphere is not the best. I actually think that having one clock on one side of the field singing la la la, and having another one on the other side singing lo 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 lo, it's kind of hard for the crowd to cheer in unison and get on the same thing. I think they should have. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean something. You have to work on something, right? They should have like a playlist that's handed out to both clocks. In this minute, we're gonna sing this. It's gonna be your song and my song Alfredo, and then in minute 4 we're gonna sing this song, Chris, and then in minute 6 we're gonna sing this song Alfredo. Like switch it back and forth because, like I said, it's hard to get one side and unison with the other side. Just have everybody, but if both sides are singing the same thing, maybe the people in the middle will join and it's because now you don't know how to pick sides.
Yeah.
That's just something I was thinking about. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work or
But
not, but in terms of me being a hypocrite, I am the type of fan. I like going to games and I like to observe. I'm watching
yeah.
every little. Sometimes the game's going on and I'm looking at the players on the bench, how they warm up. I'm looking at different things. And so I am not the noisiest of fans. I've been very, much criticized by Hugo and people like that because I go and I don't bother people. Like I don't even move from my seat. I'm just so I can't. I'm not the right person to criticize. But yeah, I would like the Lose to be a lot more loud. I like the Lose to be a lot more intimidating, like it used to be in the old Lose. But I honestly don't know how to put my finger. How to come about and really dissect and tell you what the problem is. But I would like something to happen to start to lose. Yeah, I like these fans to get a
Yeah.
little bit more involved. I
Yeah.
don't know how, but
And look, and we often make the comparison here to American sports, and if you guys have been here to arenas and stuff, there's an element of obviously they really can't play music while the game is going on, but there's an element of you got the LEDs, you got the boards. Why don't you just put like flash Benfica on the LEDs to get people to yell out Benfica? Like make the LEDs work instead of in favor of pulling the stadium towards the team. And I think that Benfica needs to do a better job of that.
do like they do in hockey. Get an organ
Yeah.
player. Charge!
No, you got a beautiful setup in terms of the LEDs where you could basically project anything you want. So just flash the words Benfica or 1904, and just have the whole stadium just pick up on that and really follow the lead of those LED boards. I think that would be a good idea, but I don't know, man. And maybe
You know what else would help Alfredo?
Yeah.
4-0 leads.
4-0 leads.
Saying?
Yeah.
That would.
That's it.
No, that helps and good playing, right? But
Dave, what do you think? That's a good one, right?
I was
3-0
gonna,
leads.
I was gonna say, Alfredo, you're coming from the right aspect, but I feel like you can't force people to what to
I get
chant, right? And it's better when it's organic too, right? When
get
they
it.
start it yourself, it kind of feels gimmicky if you're okay. This side says this, and then that side says that, and you're flashing different things. I know what you're trying to say, especially when you're trying
Yeah.
to build some momentum, but I think it all comes organically, and this game didn't have the atmosphere,
Yeah.
but look, against Porto when we were pumping them 4-1, I bet you it was a top-notch atmosphere.
Yeah.
And everybody wishes they were there, right? So different games and different atmospheres.
Yeah.
But if we could have it 100% all the time, we would all take that.
And Boris brings up a great point in which he says it's mostly middle class crowds, and perhaps right, but I think that And maybe it was just me, like I said, a guy that comes from the outside that doesn't get a chance to watch the team live every other week and really looks forward to and is excited to be at the stadium. It's just, I don't know. Maybe people just take the team for granted. Maybe
Yeah,
take
but
it.
what's the middle class got to do with it? I mean, you
I
trying to
don't
tell
know.
me that
Os pobres
you trying to
cantam
tell
mais
me that
forte.
no, but that's what I was gonna say. You trying to tell me that these teams and that have good atmospheres around, the world and stuff like that. I'm talking about civilized
Yeah,
countries, not third world. You trying to tell me that their stadium is loud because all their fans are poor?
yeah,
I mean, I think it's the culture. It's more of a culture thing than it is of a wealth thing. I think it's just the matter and the way that people go and watch games. The passion
yeah,
has to be there. We're talking about a club that, for one reason or another, there's a lot of people that are unhappy because of the current situation. Benfica's made tremendous amounts of money over the last, and then somehow they're still broke. And I mean, maybe that affects the enthusiasm
yeah.
from people. I don't
It
think
could be.
status. I don't think money. I've never listen. I've been to games with 25 cents in my pocket, and I've been to games with $1,000 in my pocket. And I didn't scream harder or louder when I had $1,000 in my pocket, or any louder when I had 25 cents in my pocket. I just whatever, bro.
Yeah.
I think look, it's the culture. It's more of a culture
Yeah, it
thing than it
definitely
is anything else.
is a stadium culture. But just getting back to the game and I thought when I saw the lineup, I thought that Lage went ultra conservative, right? And I kind of understand where he's coming from, right? So instead of with Kokshu being suspended, instead of playing Kokshu, instead of playing Rollheiser, which would have been more of that creator style, he went with Barreiro, Tino, and Auschnitz. And I understand. Sporting had just lost their game. We go into this game, which is a very tricky game. Guimarães has a good team, has a good midfield, and I think that Lage, maybe the Lage of years past, he goes in with the knife in his teeth and he goes in for the kill. And he ends up getting screwed up, and we don't take advantage of the situation. So I thought that the lineup that he put out, albeit something that it wouldn't have been me if I was him. I thought that it was kind of conservative. It was conservative for the game that it was and for the context of the game. And I don't know, Cristiano. I don't know how you felt about the lineup. And I thought it was a poor game by Benfica, and it was
But that's fine. But that's fine. It was a poor game. I agree. But obviously, they played better teams. Well, not really. I mean, they played Monaco and Porto, whatever. But here's the thing: when you say conservative. He only had one change, was Kwaksu for Barre. And look, I don't like that neither. I don't like those two guys in the middle. I understand. But to say one change, it's only one change. And to call that conservative,
well.
I don't know if I'd use the word conservative.
I
I would just say I didn't like that tandem in the middle.
I,
Fine.
I
But conservative is making multiple changes. It's one
yeah,
change,
but
bro. It's one change.
what I'm talking about it. I think it affected the way the team went forward, and at the same time, with you having two guys that are very defensive, I one guy could change the way that midfield operates.
Yeah, but I don't think Barredo was very defensive.
No, he was
I
more
think Barredo
he
I think
pushed
Barreto could
forward and
actually move
pressed.
the ball better.
Yeah, I don't
Go
know.
ahead, go ahead. I'll finish. Finish what you're saying.
No. I just thought that Rollheiser would have been better, more creative in the midfield, but I do understand him being a little bit more safeguarded against anything that Guimarães could have brought. I mean, I thought the second half and the way Benfica was playing out of the back, very slow out of the back, the whole stadium whistling Trubin while he had the ball at his feet. I just thought that was odd, man. It was an odd game
That's a lack
altogether.
of football culture, a lack of
Yeah,
football knowledge, a
exactly.
lack of understanding what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
The whole Rollheiser thing, I think Rollheiser's got a problem. It's just me on the outside. Again, no inside information, just looking at what's going on. I think Rose has a problem where maybe he doesn't play with the intensity that the coaching staff likes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's a little bit too slow. Barreto gives you a little bit more intensity in terms of pressing. There's no doubt that Rojas is better than Barreto and Florentino with the ball at his feet, but in terms of intensity, he's not really there. And at this moment, he wants guys. It's not just him. It's the new way of football in Europe, and obviously I'm unhappy in a lot of cases, but I'm not going to be unhappy about a Rohiser. But there's a lot of talented players that don't get to see the field today because they don't play with that intensity. And I don't think he offers that. And I think, Lage is the reason why he opted with Barreto, because at least he gives you a little bit of that intensity, and he'll cover ground because he runs a lot. And defensively, you know you're going to play a team that has the ability to surprise you on the counter. Guimarães is not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination, and I think he just wanted to guarantee himself the 3 points. At this point of the season, when you're making up the amount of ground that Benfica is making up, our rivals to a couple kilometers away are tripping on themselves. Right now, there is no the only urgency here is to get the points. There is no extra points in playing beautiful football and winning 10-0 or 1-0. At the end of the day, Lodge is trying to get the job done. I understand it's not the sexiest, it's not the most appealing on the eye, but I don't think Lodge gives a crap about any of that. I think we're playing well enough to get the 3 points. I mean, this is not the first game out of this streak that we've been on that hasn't been the prettiest of football. And at the end of the day, all we think about is the 3 points. And we say, look, it wasn't the
Yeah.
best, and we move on. A tricky opponent at home, and all that mattered was 3 points. Now,
Yeah.
Koksu gets back in there, but let's not forget, Alfredo and Dave, we have played and won a few games this season, 1-0, with Koksu on the field, and we all weren't unhappy.
Yeah.
So I understand, because I wouldn't have I wouldn't have, because in that situation, I don't know who I would have played there, right? But I don't like Barreiro and Tino together as well. So I understand that criticism. I just disagree with the term of, conservative, when it was one change.
Yeah.
It was one change.
No, I
And
get
we
it.
have seen
but-
Benfica struggle.
I get it, but I just think that a switch like that, I think it really changes the way the team goes forward and the way the team builds up and the way the team attacks, if you will.
Yeah, but don't blame Lage on that. Blame whoever's
No.
putting the team together
Well,
for not having alternatives.
Lage's,
I mean, Renato is the alternative, but he's injured.
Yeah.
I just said Rohiser, I think he's a little bit too slow, right? Doesn't play with that intensity. So what other option would you have liked?
I would have liked Rollheiser.
Okay.
No, but
Well-
I know, and I'm not. I don't know. I'm not really sold on Amdouni, to be honest with you. I thought that when Benfica brought him on, I thought that we lost some of the bite that we had on the midfield.
Yeah, and he can't play box to box. That's not his
He
position.
can't.
He's
he
an
can't
attacking
play,
player.
and I think that we lost that midfield in the second half when he took out Barreiros. I thought that I don't know. I'm still not sold on Amdouni. I don't know what the staff sees in him. There's rumors that Benfica is going to pick up the option and sign him on a permanent basis. But I don't understand, and I really thought. But yeah, I know that there's a
I made a bet.
there's a
I
lack.
made a bet with Hugo. That Benfica was not going to pick up that option. They were not going to bring him back at that price unless they drop it to like 12, 13. But if they keep it at 20, I don't believe Benfica. And again, it's still early, right? We're still in the first half of the season. You can turn around and light up the second half, and we're all here like, oh my God, because there's a lot of people. I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm not going to name any names, I should say. I'll point fingers. I won't name any names. But there's a lot of people that when Carreras last year started playing were like, this guy's terrible. A lot of people didn't think Benfica was going to pick up the $6 million, €6 million option, and then look at return. So we'll give Amdouni some time, but as of right now, was what I've seen. There's no way I'd pay $20 million for him. But going back to this one game, because this is what we're talking about, Guimarães, I wouldn't have played him in that position. I mean, again, the problem is the only other option is Rohiser, unless I'm forgetting somebody, right? But Koksu is out because of yellow card accumulation. Renato is unfortunately, some doctor's office somewhere. We're all accustomed to that. So there was no other option, man. So he went with the guy that he trusts more at this moment, I guess. I mean, there's not much else you could have done.
Or the only option available.
Unless you put Arshness in that position and you put Best on the wing, because isn't that Arshness was playing more on the wing than in the middle of the pitch?
Nah, he was in a he plays a little bit on the outside, but it's not totally outside. Is in the middle, but you're right. We might not have
because
the
they play in a 4-3-3. They got Di Maria, Artur Kuglu, and so again, Arsenal's playing in the middle. Again, I didn't see another. I mean,
Oh, you're right,
As
Chris.
much as we want to kill the guy,
My other
the
option was
falta, you
Rojas.
you need options. You need ammunition and tá fraquinha.
Yeah,
You got a
my
bunch of 9mm bullets in those. Unless you hit it in dead center, you're gonna need to fire off a couple more.
yeah.
So you know what I mean. That's the problem.
Yeah, so a better second half by Guimarães, but not by much. I thought that Benfica controlled the game. There was a couple tricky plays, but you got the one play with Pavlidis that he had the goal wide open and just shot it over the bar. So couple opportunities that Benfica could have capitalized on, and we didn't put the game away. And I'll be honest, it was a little bit nerve wracking. To watch how Guimarães was little by little taking control of that second half, and I really felt that as I was sitting on my seat that this was going to be a tie, that Benfica was going to tie this game. And I remember texting Cristiano, and I said they're gonna allow the tie. They're gonna allow the tie. I've already seen this movie. And Cristiano's like, I told you it was going to be a tie from the beginning. But anyway.
Yes. I actually predicted a 1-1 tie
Yeah.
prior to the game. I was telling something that and I'm glad I was wrong. But I actually thought they were going to tie this game, and like as I just said, I'm very happy and glad that we did it. I think I'm a little bit of a different Benfiquista this time around, Dave. What do you think? Normally, I'd come out here and complain, and now it's not that I'm complacent and I've lost that exigencia, but I'm at the point where being down 11 points, obviously with a game in hand, I think it's changed my perspective on things. At this point, like I just want to get the points. You know what
Yeah. No, it was important.
11 points. What
Don't-
season are you referencing? This
right now, right now,
1976.
As we speak, Dave.
I think we got our chests out a little bit, right? We're feeling good about ourselves because we've been on the other end of it where we've been down and in the dumps, and now we're getting a good string of victories here in league competition. Our competition is slipping up, and we're capitalizing. So it's good to feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
And it might not be the best performance, but still 3 points, and we move on to the next one.
Yeah. No, and I think that was the most important thing. And after Sporting slipping up, getting the 3 points, still having the game on hand against Nacional, which on paper should be an easy game. We have 82 minutes to play.
It's an easy game if there's no fog in the forecast. I mean, if you can't see the ball, bro, it shit becomes difficult.
Yeah. No, look, at the end of the day, if we beat Nacional, which happens, next week, if I'm not mistaken?
The 19th.
We have that,
Thursday.
We have that makeup game against Nacional, and we have a chance to go into the Alvalade before the year is out and be ahead of Sporting and really...
but don't we play before that game? Don't we have another game before that game, or am I missing?
We have we have AFS, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
No, and Estoril.
What the hell kind of name is that?
23rd.
AFS. As if. I mean, what the hell's AFS? What kind of name is that?
It's a combination of two teams.
Obs and whatever. Yeah, I get it. But still, come up with something like clever. I don't know.
There's nothing clever about Portuguese football, Cristiano. You should know that.
Os Monks Football Club.
Os Monks FC. But yeah, like Dave said, most important thing, 3 points. Dave, stats so we could play.
Yes, Artuklu scores his 10th for Benfica this season. Artuklu. Turkish is not my strength, neither is Portuguese, but his 15th scores his 10th in 10th in 15 games with the club. Last player to score 10 goals so quickly for the club was Jonas in 12 games. Yeah. 8 consecutive victory for Benfica in league competition, and now only 2 points behind Sporting with a game in hand.
Yeah. Anyway, next up we got Bologna for the Champions League, and then we got AFS. Bologna comes up this Thursday. Bologna, 1 point out of 5.
Bologna and cheese.
1 point out of 5 matches. So it's a team that's looking for for some points here. Benfica needs to get the 3 points, especially playing at home against a team that's only gotten 1 point out of 5 matches. It's important because next games for Benfica, the last 2 games of this stage are Barca and Juventus, which are not going to be easy games. So thinking about how things go, I don't think we're going to be able to get any points from Barca, because I think that Barca's been playing pretty well. Juventus has been up and down this season, so I'm not really sure. But I mean, we need to shore up these points against Bologna. So the game is what, Wednesday, Dave? Wednesday 2:30. So tomorrow 2:30 as we record this.
Amanhã, pá. Amanhã.
Tomorrow at 3:00.
3 o'clock.
3
3
o'clock.
o'clock tomorrow.
3 o'clock tomorrow. So and Dave, you got any stats that you wanna talk about this game?
No, you've already pretty much covered them. They're actually a better team than what their Champions League record shows for, and they lost a lot of important pieces from their
And
run
their
they made,
coach.
and their coach.
And their
So
coach, who was playing like a 2-7-2 system, and he's implemented that at
2-7-2.
Juventus. No, Joe, you're laughing, Alfredo, but it's true. Thiago, right? Thiago Motta
Yep.
is doing a phenomenal job, and he had that team last year fighting, at the top spots of the Serie A, and it's a huge miss for them guys. But nonetheless, they're gonna have, they're gonna be very organized. They're gonna play that tactical, tacticario, whatever. Dave
Catenaccio.
used Turkish, me is Italian. It's not
Catenaccio.
my forte. They're gonna be very well positioned. They're gonna be motivated because, as Dave said, what Dave or you, one of you guys said they only got 1 point, right? I believe.
Yep.
And again, as you stated before, I don't know what their remaining games are, but I'm pretty sure they play some big boys. Just like you said, oh, we got Juve and Barca next. I'm pretty sure they're thinking and looking at us and saying this might be the last opportunity to get
Yeah.
points. I don't know who they play after, but again, Benfica has to be at their best. It's at home, right? If I'm not mistaken, or is it on
It
a
is.
road?
Yeah, it's home.
It's at
at
home.
home.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it is at home. Why am I? I'm crazy. I shared my ticket with Pete. It's at home. Hopefully, get the fans excited. The fans show up. DJ Kamala gets everybody amped up, and Benfica gets a nice 2-0 victory to seal their position in the classification to be able to advance into the next round of the Champions League football.
Yeah. And then we got AFS over the weekend, Sunday, 6 p.m. local. Benfica will travel to, I don't know where they play these days, Dave. Avs?
It's Avs, yeah.
Vila das Aves?
They play it, yeah. They
Yeah.
play there. They took somebody else's footballing license, but they play up north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they up to these days, AFS, Dave?
Currently in 15th with 11 points from 2 wins, 5 draws, 6 defeats. Haven't picked up a victory in the league since September 14th, which came against Rio Ave. They've gone 4 draws and 4 defeats in that time period. And this will only be the second meeting between the two sides since the new incarnation here. They played last season a 4-1 victory for Benfica in the Taça da Liga.
Yeah.
They've done a good job though with that club. They're spending money, and I believe they've invested money into the stadium. That stadium looks all right. They're trying to do things with that club. That club is I expect that club to be better the next in the next few seasons. But I just figured I'd mention that the little stadium that they fixed up. I think it is them. It's looking pretty nice. So it's not like the old school stadiums come up on Ali, and then you see like a hill in the back. Like it's nothing like that. They're actually doing a good job. So
They have good drainage system.
oh yeah, they have their drainage system is top notch, bro. It's the latest, the very latest in Portuguese technology.
Yeah. The Portuguese technology. So that's basically it. Champions League game, very important. The AFS game is also important because you don't want to squander the league, the lead that you've been able to gain off of Sporting. Plus, you got that Nacional up ahead. So all points really matter. And I think that when Lage took over, we thought that it's. I think at the time was a 6-point deficit, if I'm not mistaken. We said
5.
Yeah,
Five.
we said we really doesn't have much margin for error, And what he could do is basically when it's the head-to-head against Sporting, he's going to have to win those games in order to regain that disadvantage. But we also thought, the Sporting team is never going to lose the way they've been playing. They've been trampling people. They're never going to lose, and then Amorim leaves, and then it's just Sporting back to being Sporting. So and Porto, we know Porto hasn't been consistent either. So it's been tricky, but I think even Benfica, understanding the way Benfica is right now in their current state, you can't say that Benfica has been a dominating team. We've been probably the least or the most consistent team over the past, if there's such a thing, that's saying that Benfica has been consistent, because I've thought that Monaco was bad. I thought that Oroco wasn't that great. I thought Guimarães was okay.
They've been consistent in acquiring and getting 3 points. That's their consistency.
That's the
Everything else is subjective.
But it becomes a championship of not the team that has played the best, but the team that's played the least worst, if that's a thing, if I could say that. But anyway, I think that's all we got. What do we got? What else we got, Dave? What else we got, Chris? Basically it, right? 50 minutes.
We've covered.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
I came here today because I wanted to hear about your trip. That's the only reason why I showed up today.
Oh, okay. Were you satisfied, or do you want more details about my trip?
I'd like more details, bro. So did you get to sit on Rui Costa's lap and then he tell you who we're signing? I mean, any inside information? I mean, anything like that?
No, I didn't see Rui Costa. I think that Rui Costa was in Miami. If I remember
That's
seeing.
right.
Yes, that's a great point.
I gotta be honest.
But he made it back. He made it back for the game on Saturday.
Yeah, he did.
He was there Saturday.
He was in Miami with I forget who he was. I remember seeing pictures, but it's really nice because the way I got in at Porta 18, so door number 18. Then you go up you get up two floors, the elevator. And then you travel to the corridors of Estádio da Luz, where there's multiple offices and multiple things. And then you get to BTV. And before you get to BTV, there's a couple times that the corridors take you out to the stands, where you walk up the top, the little aisle there behind the row of seats. And it's really good. I always have I have a moment when I could see the stadium and it's peaceful and super quiet. And at the time, I got it at it was like dusk, so it was the light was still on for the day, I guess, if you could say that. But it's really pretty to watch the stadium, how it is, so peaceful and quiet, and look over the stadium and see the green grass and see the bulbs, the heat bulbs. Working on the grass is really, really nice. And then I had a chance to hang out with your favorite Benfica TV commentator, Cristiano. We were hanging out for a little bit and we're talking about it.
Elder Conduto, my man. Now,
Conduto,
you
right.
are not confirming any of the rumors that Rui Costa was in Miami to meet with Donald Trump to get investment into the club. You're not confirming any of that, right?
I'm not confirming any of that.
Okay.
If he was
not denying either, though.
Oh, not denying either. Okay.
If he was,
where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
If he was in Miami meeting with Elon Musk, maybe I would have some news. But yeah. Did they have a nice cocktail buffet table on set? Fabs asks. No, they didn't. They didn't have any food, to be honest with you. But I got to meet everyone.
Alfredo's just from the Benfica podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm no celebrity. I'm no celebrity. I'm no VIP, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're a celebrity. You're an honor. A guest of honor, but not. Come on. You say comida só pra gente especial, pá.
Yeah. No, and I was gonna ask him for tickets for the game. I already had a ticket, but I was gonna ask him for tickets for the game, and then I got shy and didn't ask. So I was just just left it alone. But yeah, it was a good trip. It was a good.
Here's a
good
question I
experience.
want to know, because I know some of
Go ahead.
the Freddies and the people listening to this, like tomorrow, the day, whatever, we probably don't know this part, but I know because I've been there with you. Did you get makeup this time again?
I
Did you
did.
get makeup again?
I did.
Man, they didn't put enough from what I seen on video.
Chris, they put makeup not to doll you up. They put makeup so you're not see how my
So you're not
forehead is
shining. So you're not shining.
See how my
on
forehead
the
is shining.
camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
yes.
have.
Yeah, I
they-
know. Alfredo, I've been around one or two of these things before. I think you
Yeah.
forget sometimes. I know. I'm just messing with you. I know.
They put some base on you so you don't shine. But yeah, it's always a good experience out there. It's good when people recognize you from the podcast and know what you kind of do for the club. So it was good. It was good on our end. So, what else would you like to know, Chris? If I bought
what else did I like
some
to
gear.
know?
I bought some gear.
Let me see. Let me get you in trouble.
Okay.
Okay. I like to know. No, I'm joking. Leave it alone. Just I'll get you in trouble in private.
No, it's fine. No, it was a good trip, and I was very honored that I got invited to do the commentary. So it was always good. So
Yeah, very proud of you, Alfredo.
Thank
You
you,
always
sir.
represent
Thank
as
you.
well. Thank you very much.
thank you, sir.
On behalf of the Oliveras on this podcast who carry this podcast every day, appreciate you taking the hit for us and making the hard trip across the pond
Yeah.
to show up on our beloved club's channel. Thank you very much, Alfredo,
You're
for
very-
taking the bullet.
you're very welcome.
You are a gentleman.
And thank you all you guys that sent me messages telling me that I did a good job. Thanks everyone. I appreciate it. That's all. That's all we got. Let's get out of here. It was nice being back with you guys, man. It's been what, two weeks. It was nice being back. Nice being with the Freddies. I see some new Freddies here. Neil Fernandez. I haven't seen Neil Fernandez in ages. I don't know what.
Yeah, Neil wants 60-man rosters. Good job, Neil.
Not even NFL teams carry that many players.
53-man roster,
That's-
7-man practice squad, so they do have 60.
Yeah, but not on game day.
53.
53 guys. Yeah, but appreciate all you guys that took the time and wrote in the chat. It was pretty nice. It was nice being back to the routine. I promise I won't be going on any trips anytime soon. So we'll be
No, only tomorrow. Only tomorrow.
Dave,
you hear this guy, Dave?
Not on Tuesdays. Not on Tuesdays. But I promise we'll be more regular on Tuesdays coming up. So thank you so much. Thank you
Or
all.
Wednesdays. Or Wednesdays.
Tuesdays
or
or Wednesdays because of the
Champions.
UCL. We'll have more information as we get on the Cub World Cup that's taking place here in the United States for you guys. As we get more information, we'll divulge that throughout our podcast times.
Yeah, see, if they came to New Jersey, we'd have like a Benfica podcast gathering. But,
Yeah.
they had to mess it all up. They had to mess
Yeah,
up our whole
we could
plan.
still have a
Unless
a
Benfica makes it to the semifinal, and the semifinal, one of them will be the semifinal and final will be at the Meadowlands. So Benfica, do your thing. If you want a Benfica podcast reunion,
Yeah.
meet up. I should
Well,
say.
there's no reason why we can't have a Benfica podcast reunion in Miami. I think that would be kind of nice.
We need the Orlando stadium. We can get a 2-for-1 deal on
Hey,
the Friday afternoon.
The Orlando might not be bad. It's probably going to be more accessible to people. Maybe you could plan a Disney trip around it, right? Tickets are going to be easy to get. It's a guaranteed win. What else could go wrong? And we get to get together and we'll talk.
You might even get to get on the field and play with the team. I mean, nobody's going to be there. So they won't even notice. I mean, Orlando's the spot to be.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all we got for you guys, and on our behalf, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your patience to wait for us. Thank you so much. Speak to you next week. Next week we'll recap the Bologna and AFS game, and we'll look ahead to what other games are coming up. Will you set Sturil, Dave?
After
you got
we have
Nacional?
the Nacional game.
You got the Nacional game, and then you got Sturil, I think.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next week.